Hey guys, what is up? It's Ruthie. Obviously this isn't my normal filming location. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of Dollar Tree makeup just because typically I'm one to use a lot of high-end makeup that can be quite expensive, and I just want to give it a go with doing a full face with Dollar Tree makeup, see how it is and everything, see what I can find. So I am at my Dollar Tree and we're just gonna like go and see what they have. Update, I totally wimped out. I did not film in the store because I got scared and all the makeup stuff was near the checkout area and I did not want to get yelled at. So, but I got a bunch of good stuff, probably too much, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough and I found a lot of good stuff. So I will show you guys all of it when I get home. Alright, so I am back from the dollar store. I ended up going to Dollar General instead of Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar Tree, but I could not find anything in my shade. I couldn't find concealer, I couldn't find primer, and there's just so much stuff I couldn't find. And maybe as a challenge, one time I'll do it. So if you guys want a challenge like that, then comment below. I found so much at Dollar General. I'm really excited to try out all of these products and share with you guys to see what amazing finds I found. Personally, I am one to use a lot of high-end makeup. That's not because I don't like drugstore makeup or anything like that. I just typically go for high-end makeup. I don't really have much of a reasoning behind it, but I do. But I think it'll be fun to try out some drugstore makeup because I don't use it a lot. So let's just hop right into it. Okay, so first I bought this little headband because I always wear a headband when I do my makeup and I thought it was really cute. To challenge myself even more, I'm using all dollar store brushes and none of my other makeup brushes. So first I'm going to start off with priming my face. For primer, I got this Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. I have used this primer. I like this primer. I think it's a great dupe for the Smashbox primer. Okay, so I am just going to rub that in. It's definitely silicone based, so if that breaks out your skin, I'd watch out for that. But it's definitely really good for filling in your pores and any texture that you have. It's also mattifying, which is good if you have oily skin like I do. I also found this color corrector at the dollar store, which I figured I'd pick up because I am a little bit sunburnt and I definitely want to cover up that redness. It is by LA Colors and it is the Conceal It Covering Correct Concealer. I'm just going to go in with that around any of my sunburnt spots and my blemishes to correct the red. I really don't use color corrector a lot, so I mean, we'll just see how this goes. Now I'm just gonna blend that in with my fingers. You don't always have to use a brush. Your fingers can actually be pretty effective too. It is a little bit on the sheer side, but hopefully it'll get the job done. Now to hop in with foundation, I am going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. I'm actually pretty excited that I found this at the dollar store because I've used this foundation before. I used to use it a lot in middle school and stuff like that in freshman year, and it's really not a bad foundation at all. I am worried about this beauty blender though because I'm afraid it's gonna suck up all the product. Hoping and praying that it is my shade. Yeah, that looks like my shade. It is actually blending in really nicely and the beauty blender is not that bad. I am gonna put on just a little bit more because I just am really going for that full beat look. Now I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Makeup Contour Stick. This is in the shade Oaks on You. I was actually really surprised they had cream contour and really happy about it. It is pretty creamy and I do like the consistency of it. Hopefully it'll blend out good too. I'm kind of using this like square-like shape that's at the top of the beauty blender to blend this in so I can get it more precise. It isn't terrible. I gotta say it's not my favorite contour stick, but for the price it is very good. Now I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is also a pretty known concealer. It is also a pretty good one. From what I've heard, I haven't personally tried it out, but that's what we're doing right now. And now, of course, blend it in. Since the beauty blender is massive, I'm just gonna blend in these parts with my fingers, which definitely is, once again, not a bad way to blend concealer under your eyes because it really allows the concealer to just melt into your skin. I'm not gonna lie, I am loving how my base is looking so far. I think it looks really nice and fresh and honestly pretty seamless. I'm not mad about it at all. For setting powder, I was actually really shocked when I found the Airspun powder in my Dollar General. I was like, what? And I've never tried this powder, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I get to try it out today. And it also comes with one of these, and honestly, I love using these to set. I do not like the smell of it though. It's very fragrant. The smell is very strong and I don't like that for my setting powders, but that's just me. I'm just going to lightly set all of this in place because I am going to contour and then I'm going to bake. That's set super nicely. I'm really happy with how it looks. Now for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. Typically, I would usually go in with more of a contour shade, but we're just going to be bronzing today since I already cream contoured. And I also got this contour brush from Believe Beauty. It looks like such a nice brush. I'm really excited to use it. So now we're just going to go in and... whoa. So we have run into our first problem. This bronzer is too light for me. It's not bronzing my skin at all. It actually is more so matching my skin. You know what? That is okay. We are going to improvise. I'm going to be using a shade from an eyeshadow palette I got from the dollar store. It is the Nude LA Colors palette. I'm probably going to be using a mixture of this shade and this shade. I typically don't use eyeshadow to contour, but we're gonna give it a shot. I'm really having to really dig in there, but I mean, I am using a bigger brush and that could be why. It is definitely a little bit on the warm tone side, but you know what? It is okay. We're just gonna have a nice bronzy, warm toned look going on here. Alright, now with the airspun powder, I'm going to bake. I am really liking the airspun powder aside from the fragrance. So if you know me, you know for brows, I typically stick to one product, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade. I love that product, and that's usually the only product I use on my brows. Also very specific with my brow brushes. I am going to be using the LA Colors Brow Pomade in dark brown. Luckily, it came with this little brow brush. And for more defined hairs, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Brow Definer Pencil in the shade Medium Brown. This brow pencil isn't super easy to draw shapes with, so I'm just going to go straight in with the brow pomade even though I have not finished tracing out the shape. I think this container is so cute and tiny. I'm noticing that the brow pomade is super creamy, which is a really good thing. Right off the bat, I'm not liking this brow pomade. I did say it was creamy, however, I'm kind of thinking it's a little more so greasy and not super opaque. It's not giving me a ton of coverage on my brows, especially the ends of my brows where I have shaved off my brow hair. And I'm also sparsely filling in the front with some hairs and definitely making sure to comb through my brows a lot because I don't want there to be a ton of product buildup in it. So overall, this brow is not a terrible brow at all, and now I'm just going to do the other one and see how that one goes. Alright, so I finished with both of my brows. Now I'm going to take this Belle 4-piece travel brush, and they have this flat brush in there, so I'm just going to use that to try and carve out my brows. Okay, so carving them out definitely helped my brows a lot. They look very nice, very on fleek. I'm actually pretty happy with them. Now I'm just going to put some concealer on my full eyelid and everything to prep and prime my base for eyeshadow. So for my eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Rose LA Colors eyeshadow palette. I am a little bit on the nervous side to use this. Eyeshadow palettes are definitely something I really invest in, and I really want my eyeshadow palettes to be good quality and pigmented and easy to blend. And honestly, I haven't really used a drugstore eyeshadow palette before. I got this Beauty Accents blending eyeshadow brush, and we are just going to start off using that. And I'm going to be taking this dark plum shade. It is kind of metallic, which I'm nervous about because I don't usually use metallic shades for a base color, but that's what I have to work with. Okay, so I'm just packing this on there a lot because I really want pigmentation. To help give that some depth, I'm going to be using this shade right here from the Nude LA Colors palette. Now I'm going to be with the all over eyeshadow brush from Believe Beauty. I'm going to hop in with this nice kind of red maroonish pinky shade, and I'm going to blend out the base color with that. This is actually kind of blending out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Now, after working with it some time, I got this. It's kind of a little bit muggy in my opinion. The one thing I'm not loving about the color selection, the pigmentation, is that all of the colors kind of ended up being the same. Maybe that was on my part, but it is kind of like a single tone blend going on. But you know what? That is okay. We are going to cut the crease and see what we can do with it. Okay, so I've cut this crease. This is kind of the shape shape I've come out with. I did a little like flare on the cut crease just to add some more detail. I'm now going to do the other side. This is the shape I've come out with on both eyes. Now I'm going to be using this Believe Glitter Pot Gel. Alright, so this is the eye look I ended up coming out with. I think it's pretty cute. It's not something I usually do. I'm going to be using this Beauty Accents Kabuki brush. Honestly, this might be a nail brush. I'm not really sure, but you know, that's okay. Okay, so I just brushed this off and I'm noticing some patchiness under my eyes. Hopefully you can see that. My normal setting powder would definitely not do that. We're going to add some liner. I'm going to be using the LA Colors Precision Eye Marker. As you can tell, I'm doing a pretty dramatic wing. I successfully did this eye, however, it is pretty opaque. However, this liner is just not working for me. It was really precise for the first wing. For the second wing, I just could not get anything out of it. Instead, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. So this is what I ended up coming out with for my eyeliner. The eyeshadow was a little bit too subtle for me, and if you know me, then you know I love dramatic looks and I love dramatic liner. I decided to take more of a graphic liner approach, and I'm really happy I did because I love how it turned out. Now I'm just going to take the LA Colors Auto Liner, and this is just like a pencil liner, and I'm going to smudge out that bottom line. So I've just blended out the bottom with the eye pencil, and now I'm just going to add some mascara. For mascara, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. Here is the wand. I'm just going to apply that like a normal mascara. You know the drill. It's doing the job, working as a mascara should be. Now on to lashes. The lashes were something I was most excited about. I found the Kiss Mink Effect lashes in the style Heries, and they're so gorgeous. Alright, so I've added eyelash glue and let it dry a bit, and now we're just gonna stick these bad boys on. Alright, so those are on, and don't think I forgot about blush, highlight, and lipstick. Now we're going to go straight into blush. The blush I'm going to be using is the CoverGirl Clean Classic Color Blush. This is in the shade Natural Glow. For my blush brush, I'm just going to be using the Believe Beauty Foundation Brush. It is a foundation brush, but they didn't really have a blush brush, so you gotta use what you have. So we're just gonna put some of that on there. I wish I kind of had more of a doll pink, maroony, something like that. You know the vibe. Berry toned blush. This is kind of more peachy, and it's a little bit light for me once again, but it's okay. Alright, so for setting spray, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Matte Finish Setting Spray. I also kind of like to go in with a beauty blender after the setting spray to kind of just press it in and make sure my foundation is not cakey. Featuring the Dollar General tag, I'm just going to go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter. This is in the shade Precious Petals. I've heard tons of good things about these highlighters, but I've never tried one out. And I'm just going to be using this brush from like that travel kit we used earlier. This highlighter is very pretty. Look how pretty that is. Wow, I am shook. Alright, this highlighter is bomb. I totally approve. For lips, I'm going to start off with this Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in the shade Bear to Comet. We're just going to line the lips with it. So I'm going in with the LA Colors lipstick. This is in the shade Latte. Honestly, I like that, and it goes on really smooth and it feels nice on your lips. So now I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip gloss. This is in the shade Capricorn, and it is so pretty. I literally had to get it. So this is super pretty and metallic, and it's kind of like iridescent-y. I actually think that pulled it together nicely. Right, so this is the finished look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Honestly, if I saw someone else wearing this, I would totally not think it was 100% drugstore from Dollar General makeup. I would have never thought. Hope everyone realizes this who hasn't realized it already, that you totally do not need high-end, expensive makeup to do glam, full-on, glowing, good, fresh looks. Some drugstore products work just as good as high-end products, and you're paying way cheaper for them. So I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I hope you guys found maybe some new products that you want to go try. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Make sure to comment down below for some video requests, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!